Hey everybody, you're watching Call the Corn Star. Before we get started, big thank you to AG1 for sponsoring this video.
Today, we are going to be sheeting the roof on the $7,000 mansion. All right guys, we got 4 to 7 inches of snow coming this weekend. We have to get all the sheeting on today, plus all of the shingles, and get everything 100% enclosed.
Okay, we'll do. Is there 80 hours in today?
We'll make it happen. We got ourselves a big day today. We are expecting 4 to 7 inches of snow coming in 2 days. And at the moment, we have about 10 pieces of plywood on the roof of the house. So today, we're gonna try to put a bunch of plywood on so that way when it snows, it doesn't all end up on the inside of the house where we have to spend a whole day shoveling it out. Oh. Come on, I'm stuck. It's hard to climb through this window with your pouch on. Okay, up on the roof we go. All right, Chris, you're delegating jobs today. Who's doing what?
No. Justine delegates jobs.
No, you're delegating.
No, you do. You're the whatever. I just look good.
You're whatever.
I'm just here to look good.
So this is where we are going to be working today. Our goal is to try to go all the way around this roof, apparently, or so the guys tell me. I'm not 100% certain if they're joking with me or not. But we're gonna try to get 2 rows on. So we got bottom 4 feet, then we'll go next 4 feet, and then we'll do that on the side. Once we get done, then we'll go down the other side. Once we get done, we'll come back. And then if we still have daylight, we'll probably keep going up. It's gonna be a good day. First sheet of the day is a full sheet, so we don't have to do any cutting. And since I'm the cutter guy, this makes my job pretty easy. Oh, come on, I was kind of expecting.
That one doesn't do that. It's called bonfire. You miss 5, you hit 1.
By the way, this is Chris. Chris has been coming out for the past couple months while I've been out harvesting and tiling. So Chris has been me on the house for the last couple months, and thank you, Chris.
It's because Justine says I'm just supposed to stand here and look good. So your job, right?
We are going to jump out of the cold and get into the heat for a little while and take a break. While I'm on my break, let's talk about AG1. We all know the saying, you are what you eat. That's why I'm tough as nails. All jokes aside, when we get super busy on projects, I'm probably not eating enough vitamins, minerals, or probiotics, and that is why I drink AG1. AG1 has over 75 vitamins, minerals, and probiotics. This is how you make it. You take 8 to 12 ounces of cold water in the shaker cup, you take a scoop, you dump it in, you shake the shaker cup, and it's done. When it comes to the way that I like to make it, I prefer to use the travel pack, so I usually just dump it in a bottle of water. Bone apple teeth. As far as tastes go, my favorite one is the citrus flavor, and I think it's really good. If you would like to give AG1 a try, they are currently running their best offer ever. If you head to drinkag1.com/CallTheCornStar or scan the QR code, you'll get the welcome kit, a morning person hat, a year's supply of vitamin D3 plus K2, an AG1 flavor sampler, and you'll get to try their new sleep supplement, AGZ, for free. That's $126 in free gifts for new subscribers. Thanks to AG1 for sponsoring today's video. We actually did a little bit more than I expected on this side. We got 3 rows up. We are out of plywood on the lift. We're gonna go down, we're gonna get some more plywood, and then we're gonna be doing something on that side of the house. For this next part, we are going to need some more 2x6s.
we can get more sheeting laid up, we have to get that board that's right there on the end of the rafters on first. And so that makes sure all the rafters are evenly spaced. And then it also makes the bottom of where we put our sheeting on. So we got this side on here. We're getting that side on right now. And then once that is done, we will start throwing some more sheeting up on top of the rafters. Can you hold this?
Oh no.
Now that we're on the new part of the roof, it's kind of a sketchy spot to have two people up on the lift. So I am the guy on the lift doing the cutting and handing up sheets of plywood. And then the other two guys are throwing down sheets. And then we have a guy inside that's picking up all the scraps that these guys are throwing down. Man, look at all those pieces of plywood, or OSB, or CDX, or whatever you want to call it. It's starting to get a little hard to see now, so we're going to be jumping off of the roof. But if we would have had 2 more hours with everybody here, I think we pretty much would have gotten the entire back part of the roof completely sheeted. It's now the next morning. The snow is supposed to be here in about 7 hours, and it's going to be Chris, my dad, and myself today. And our goal is to try to get the last of the roof sheeted that we still can. If I had to guess, we probably have about 20 sheets of OSB that we need to get laid down. This really high peak right here, we're not going to be messing with that. That's more of a seasoned carpenter's kind of thing. So not me, but we're gonna be getting the lower part on the back done. And this is going to help so much with the amount of snow that we'll have to scoop out of the upstairs. So I'm excited to get this done. With my dad, Chris, and I, we're gonna be doing things just a little bit differently. We're gonna try to do things in stages. So our first stage is just going to be carrying sheets of plywood or OSB from the lift up to the roof. And we'll get a few sheets up here, and then everybody will come up here, and then we'll move to our next step. Like that.
Okay, I'm there.
Cole's got to go down in the rafters to get some cross members off, so right now he's going to be Spider Monkey. We'll see if we can see him down there. Now kids, do not try this at home. So that's what Cole's doing. He's trying to get the braces off so we can move the rafter up here to line up to our plywood before we put the nails in. It's about perfect temperature right now. I don't know what it is, Chris, 25 out?
I don't know. I don't have that fancy app that, what is it?
I think it's supposed to get to about 28 degrees today. So it's actually a beautiful, beautiful day out. Unless you're in Florida or Hawaii, then 28 degrees probably sounds pretty chilly.
Try not to fall here because I'm kind of over a pit of death.
Welcome back to Earth.
Thanks. All we had left was a little triangle right here, and we had a little triangle right there, but unfortunately we're starting to get some flurries, and it's only been flurrying for about 10 minutes, but we already have snow sitting up on the roof, and it is incredibly slippery. So we just threw a couple patch pieces over the top of these to keep snow out. We got everything else covered. This side looks good. That side we can't do until we get the overhang built on that end, so we're gonna have to do a little scooping over there, but otherwise we got all of our other goals completely done. This turned out awesome. This is the view from the inside. We got it all covered up. That's where we didn't quite have enough time to get everything quite finished, and there's another little one right there, but otherwise everything else is all set up. We're good to go, and then that's the part that we'll have to do later when we do the overhang. I would say we got off of the roof just in time.
I'm super pleased with how all of the sheathing and stuff is going on, and I do have some bad news. So once we get done sheathing, then we do have a few more roof trusses that we need to set up. But once the trusses and the sheathing are done, then the next steps after that are putting down tar paper and then shingles. So we are very close to having the roof completely done. And this is where the bad news comes into play. This is one of the shingles that I have on my house. My house has had this type of shingle since 2003, and then in 2020 when we built the porch on it, then we put 2020 shingles of the same style on, and these are a little bit of a special shingle. They are not an asphalt shingle, they are a steel shingle. So they are made out of steel, but then on the part that you see, they have the little granules like an asphalt shingle. So they look like an asphalt shingle. When it rains on them, it sounds like an asphalt shingle, but they perform like a steel shingle. So they last like 50 to 100 years depending on the conditions that they are exposed to. And so these are the shingles that we would like to put on the new addition. So this is what's going on. This is the bad news. I went to 2 different suppliers of these shingles, and they both came back to me and said all of the inventory that they have has a cosmetic defect in it. At least all of the inventory that they have for the exact shingles that are currently on my house. So if we want the new addition to look like the existing part of the house as far as the roof goes, we only have the option of putting on shingles that have a cosmetic defect. I'll show you the back side of the shingle first, so that way you can actually see what you're looking at. It's easier to see on the back side, but you see that big dent right there? There's 2 of them. There's one right by my thumb, and there's one right here. And it makes kind of this moon-shaped looking thing. It's supposed to look like this. So this is one of the cosmetic defects, which if you look at it from the top, it looks like that. So it kind of looks like a half moon. So I can actually kind of poke it down like that, where on the spot where it's supposed to look, I can't do anything. So that's one of them, and then the other one is over here on the very end. So you can see it right there. It's supposed to look like this flat part, but it's dented in. And then when you flip it down, you kind of got the same thing, same half moon piece right here. I can't push this one down with my hands, but it definitely is noticeable. And this is also the part where it does get overlapped a little bit right here, so it is kind of hidden, so you don't see this one as much, but this one is pretty noticeable, especially when you get several of them put together, and then you look at an angle, you can see this little half moon, little pop-out part on all of them, and then you can just follow the pattern up the roof. So the company who manufactures these ended up sending me several shingles, so that way I could get a pretty good feel for the actual condition of the cosmetic defect. And one thing that I noticed is when they were packed together, now this could be just how they sent them to me, so it may not be how they all are, but when they pack them together like this, they kind of vibrate a little bit when they drive down the road. And so when you actually look at the defected spot, it has some of the granules rubbed off on that particular area because it sticks up into the back of the other one, and you can see where it's actually kind of scratched it right there. And so it makes the defect even more noticeable. When I lay them down on the ground and kind of hook them together how they would be on the roof, the pattern becomes a little bit more obvious, especially right now with the rubbing. I don't know if you got some rain on this, if some of that rub dust would come off and it would make it less noticeable. This one was sitting up on top of the pile, so you don't see the rub spot. But if you look at it, it's a little hard to tell on camera. The camera doesn't do it the same way that your eyeballs would. But you can see the dent with your eyes. So if you're sitting here looking, you see this dent, you see that dent, you see that dent. And I'm just kind of concerned if we have an area the size of this shop floor, like the roof would be covered with these, you will be able to see dent, 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 and then scoot over 2 feet, dent, 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 the whole way throughout the entire roof. And I really just don't like how that looks. The main supplier that I've been working with for most of the materials on my house has been super transparent about this cosmetic issue, and he did send me several pictures of houses that had the cosmetic issue on them, so that way I could see what it actually looked like. So this was the first house that he sent me. Now this one is the most obvious. You can see the half moon on every single shingle, and it sticks out a lot. And that's because these are a lighter colored shingle. If we look at the other house he sent me, these are a darker colored shingle, and they have a little bit more camouflaging going on them with the different darker colors. And so it does make it harder to see the half moon. But when you look at the lighter colored shingle, it tells you exactly where to look for the half moon. So once you see the lighter colored shingle and then you look at the darker ones, then you can still see that pattern along the entire roof. I'm not going to lie, it feels a little weird talking about shingles having a dent in them being a problem, but the part that rubs me the most weird about all this is there is no price discount for these dented shingles. They're still full price. And I feel like if I'm going to pay full price for something, I want the ones that don't have the dents. As far as I've been told, the shingle itself does the job that it's supposed to do. The company still has their warranty in place for the performance of the shingle. It just has the cosmetic defect in it. So it's not like they don't work, it's just, well, they have a dent in them. Unfortunately for us, we don't really have the option to wait for them to make new shingles because these are, I don't know the exact generation of these shingles, but they are coming out with the next generation. And the next generation is not going to be coming on for, I've been told, at least 3 months, possibly up to 6 months. And so everything that I have been able to find so far has the defects in them, and they are not going to be making new ones for 3 to 6 months. And we are not going to have the house sitting there for 3 to 6 months without a roof on it. So we're going to be going with a different option. Fortunately for us, the company does make more than one style of steel shingle. So the steel shingle that we are going to be going with is this particular style. So as you can see, this is the shingle looking one. So these ones emulate a shingle, and these ones look like a different type of shingle. So I know these are going to do a good job. It's just we are going to have a seam right in the middle of the roof where half of the shingles look like this and then the other half of the shingles look like this. So that is the problem. Things just won't quite look right when you're looking at it because we will quite literally have 2 different styles of shingles on the house. I do have the option of tearing off the existing roof of the house and then putting these other ones on so then everything matches, but that pretty much doubles our roofing expense, which is something I don't want to do. And the shingles that are on the house right now have at least another 50 years in them the way they are. So I really don't want to do that, especially with all the life they have left in them. So it's just gonna be one of those things. It is what it is. Unfortunately, we're gonna have that seam in there, but the way I'm gonna look at it is it gives the house character. If we're going with the character line, I guess we could say these dented shingles will give character too, but I I refuse to pay full price for dented character. Even if these shingles were discounted, I still would not want them. I do have a concern with this dent that is on the seam. The company says everything is good and that they still carry their warranty and stuff, but this dent right here being on the overlap area, I just am concerned that that may potentially be a problem in the future, and I don't really want to have to deal with any problems in the future on these, so we're just going to steer clear from it, and we're going to be going with the other style. See what the snow's looking like now? Yeah, it's coming down pretty good. We already got snow drifts that are about 6 inches deep going through the driveway. We did load the skid loader and got the snow blower on that, so once this storm passes, we'll be able to get everything cleaned up. But I think this is about all I can do for tonight. I'd say we had a pretty good day. Yeah, I'm gonna go home and go to bed. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.